So, what's the Grape Explorer talking about today? Well, one of the top wines in all of Tuscany, as most of you know, is Brunello di Montalcino. And Brunello di Montalcino has an interesting history behind it. When I first went to this area, it had to have been more than 20 years ago. It's completely changed today because they didn't have obviously as many producers, so it's become an international phenomenon. Brunello di Montalcino. But the one thing that is interesting is that there's such an array of all different styles and producers, and a couple of examples here that I'm showing you. One is one of the oldest actual estates, which was bought by the Banfi company, is called Poggio alla Mura, and I was actually selling this wine in Florida many years ago, close to 20 years, and when I was told that the new owners were going to take over the brand, the label was going to disappear as of the 79 vintage. So this came out of a perfectly stored cellar. We have 1974, and the Poggio alla Mura is one of the oldest domains or castellos that are in this area, so quite a historical property there. We're selling the 74s for $100 a bottle. Have two perfect bottles available, and as of this video blog, there's nobody in the country that actually has the 1974 Poggio alla Mura. And the one to the right is a very interesting property. It's called Casanova de Neri, 1999, and this particular Brunello is from their Certalto vineyard in 1999. This was one of the highest awarded wines in the Wine Spectator, got 97 points, and even Robert Parker reviewed the wines, or the Wine Advocate, and gave the wines 93 points. So, and this is one of the rising superstars and has been for a number of years. I remember following this property, and when it really was an unknown and just came storming onto the scene. And now it's rivaling some of the other top Brunellos. And just to tell you about the grape, Sangiovese Grosso is the grape that is 100% used in the process for Brunello. Brunello has to be aged in a barrique at least for a minimum of 36 months. So, and a lot of the oaks vary. A lot of the producers, and especially a couple of the producers I did visit, they used these old oak kind of foeders that were kind of big, and they weren't like barrique barrels. And what the producer was actually trying to say is that we don't want a wine to be oaky, we want it to be mellow. And a lot of the oak was a Slavonian oak at that time. They didn't really want to use French oak because they would impart different flavors into the Sangiovese. But the soil composition is very unique in this area, very ferruginous, almost to a point where you can get a lot of truffle scents and mushroom and wild forest scents out of the Brunellos. And they do have a tendency to age very well. So the 1974, even though it might fade a little bit as far as its fruit structure is still drinking well, the 1999 would still be, not even at its peak yet. The book in the middle is a couple that I respect, especially in this area of Brunello, Sheldon and Pauline Wasserman, who wrote Italy's Noble Red Wines, go into depth. If anybody really wants to learn about not only all of Italy, but especially Brunello, and you learn about all of the zones and all of the vineyards and all the producers. This is an epic book. Sheldon had actually passed away a number of years, but this is probably one of the greatest books I think ever written on Italian wines. And if you, again, if you really want to spend some time and dive into especially a zone like Brunello di Montalcino, you'll never find probably someone or a couple like this that would really talk about not only the historical perspectives of Brunello di Montalcino, but the soil compositions and what makes each vineyard so unique from the others. So Quite a book to go after. You can probably find this on Amazon or any of the other bookstores. It is one of the most famous of the Italian wine books. Again, Brunello di Montalcino. Just to recap, the Poggio alla Mura, we have 2 bottles available, 1974, quite rare to find. Those are $100 a bottle. The Casanova de Neri, 1999, we have 3 bottles of that available. That is $175 a bottle. Again, very hard to find, 1999, especially a wine of this pedigree that's gotten so many reviews. 3 impeccable, perfect bottles. These both came out of a cellar, so they're very pristine, but at the same time, one of my favorite areas in all of Italy, Brunello di Montalcino.